Good evening. Welcome to this November 16th, 2020 meeting of the Norfolk City Council. I call the meeting to order. And to begin, call your attention to the Open Meetings Act posted here in the City Council chambers. If you now please join me in rising for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Granquist.
Here.
Langy.
Here.
Merrill.
Here.
Weeblehouse.
Here.
Murin.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Clausen.
Here.
File.
Here.
Okay, with that, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist.
Yes.
Langy.
Yes.
Merrill.
Yes.
Weeblehouse.
Yes.
Murin.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Clausen.
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Okay. And I would look for a motion to approve the full agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist.
Yes.
Langy.
Yes.
Merrill.
Yes.
Weeblehouse.
Yes.
Murin.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Clausen.
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Okay, with that, we move to item number 19 on the council agenda under special proclamations. And I will now read a proclamation for encouraging the use of face shield coverings or cloth face masks to help slow the spread of COVID-19 in Norfolk and the surrounding area. The proclamation reads, whereas COVID-19 is a severe, acute respiratory illness that can spread through small droplets when individuals breathe out, talk, cough, and sneeze, and whereas COVID-19 continues to be present in the city of Norfolk and Madison County with recent increases in reported positive cases in not only our region, but in states across the country, and it is critically important to protect the residents, visitors, students, and employees in the city of Norfolk from the spread of COVID-19. And the World Health Organization has determined that wearing face shields, coverings, or cloth face masks has proven to be one of the most effective means to curb the spread of the COVID-19 virus among persons in public settings. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Josh Moaning, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska, on behalf of our citizens, in an effort to curtail the spread of COVID-19 and its impacts on our community, do hereby encourage residents and visitors to follow all public health recommendations and guidelines related to COVID-19, including the use of face shields, coverings, or cloth face masks in public and private areas when social distancing is not possible or practical. And I do want to make note on the reasoning and timing for that proclamation as it is today. Madison County in recent weeks has seen one of the highest rates of new cases and hospitalizations in the last 14 days in the state per capita. Our hospital system and healthcare workers are stressed. The hospital's nearing 100% capacity, which is a very serious moment for our community. And I think we feel as a city council that it's time, and elected officials, that it's time to pull together and do all we can to get these numbers under control and slow the spread of transmission to help protect ourselves and our neighbors and also ease the burden on our healthcare workers. The reality is, too, if we don't do this, if we don't get a handle on these numbers, we'll not only continue to put ourselves and others at risk, we'll risk facing another round of mandated business shutdowns and restrictions, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. So we all know the things that we can do to help reduce the odds of transmission and slow the spread, avoiding large gatherings, proactively maintaining distance, being conscientiously clean, and wearing a mask when in public around others. So this resolution, as it was read, acts as a strong encouragement and urgent advisement, if you will, that citizens and area residents adhere to this practice, again, for purposes of slowing the spread, keeping ourselves and those around us healthy, and easing the burden on our healthcare workers and our public safety officials, and keeping our small businesses open. So, if no discussion or questions or comments among the council on the proclamation, we will move forward. Yeah, this public hearings. Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to number 20 on the council agenda under public hearings and related action. Given that the next few items on the agenda are related, including items 20 and 22 serving as public hearings for the Board of Equalization to hear matters related to the assessments involving water and sewer extension districts. I will combine those public hearings, so we'll take those together. So items 20 and 22, both public hearings will be opened at this time for the Board of Equalization to hear and equalize special assessments for Water Extension District number 123, South Victory Road, and the hearing for the Board of Equalization to hear and equalize special assessments for Sanitary Sewer Extension District number 252, also South Victory Road. And in order to do this, I would first look for a motion to adjourn as the mayor and council and convene as the Board of Equalization.
So move, Your Honor.
Second.
Okay. Motion and second to adjourn as mayor and council and convene as Board of Equalization. If no discussion on that, roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, so we'll open discussion as the Board of Equalization, and to kick off the public hearing, for some background, we'll look to Steve Ramus, City Engineer.
Mayor, members of the board, I'll start with Water District 123, which is on South Victory Road. The district was created on May 13th of 2019 to extend water services down to properties both in and out of city limits on the south end of Victory Road, as well as to extend water to some undeveloped properties for potential development of those. The final payment to the contractor, which was Rutchins Construction, was made on August 3rd of 2020. That project serves 28 parcels or tracts. The total cost of the project was $502,530.45. The city portion of the project was $196,572.23, and assessed to adjacent property owners was the residual, or $305,958.22. A little bit of breakdown there, just in terms of percentage of cost. The city's percentage of cost on the project was 39% of that. Two undeveloped properties down in there, Dial Properties and the Wisner West property on the south side. Theirs was their total assessment was 29% of the project, and then the existing properties in that area were paying 32% then of the assessed costs. I did have contact with all but two of the property owners down in there in the last week or two to go through their final assessment numbers. I know there are probably several of those folks here tonight, but That is Water District 123. You want me to go into 252, or you want to take questions on this?
Yeah,
one?
go ahead.
Okay. 252 is a sewer extension district, again on South Victory Road to the same general area. This district was created on May 13th of 2019. Final payment, again to Rutchins, was made on August 3rd of 2020. Same number of parcels are served, 28 by the project. The total project cost was $553,200.73. The city's cost on the project was $307,623.22, and the portion assessed to adjoining property owners was $245,577.51. The city's percentage of the project is 56%. The Dial and Wisner West properties is 22%, and the other existing properties in the area are paying a 22% proportion. Again, there were 2 property owners I was not able to reach on that. I know just a couple numbers here I'll read to you in light of some other stuff going on. It's just the linear footage assessments. These properties were assessed based on a linear footage of front assessment. The properties in general on the residential side were rectangular in nature or square in nature of similar size, and so the linear foot proportionment was reasonable. The costs for the unsubsidized portion of the project were $50.45 a foot, and for those properties that were existing, the city had an additional subsidy in there, and so their total cost per linear foot was $23.78, and that was on the sanitary sewer portion. On the water portion, the unsubsidized assessment per linear foot would have been $58.45, and with some additional city funding in there, the assessed cost is $31.79 a linear foot. With that, I'll take any questions you have.
Steve, I missed it, but you said it, the city's share on the sewer project here, what was the percentage of the shared cost?
On the sewer project, it was 56% of the total.
Okay.
These projects, also just in terms of policy on how we're dealing in terms of connections, some of the parcels have connected either to water or sewer or both. We are not compelling connection until such time as either their water well fails or their septic system fails.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Steve. This is a public hearing, so anyone wishing to make comment on these matters can do so now.
Just for clarification, both with this district, both sewer and water, there will be no hookup fee. This will be a assessment, correct?
That is correct. These are assessed.
Yeah. Just wanted to clarify that.
For clarification too, Steve, it's just a couple parcels. There's no lineal footage listed, but you have the parcels in there. Why is that?
When we originally set those 2 parcels happened to be on the Dial properties portion there, and so the total linear footage, I don't remember, I think the total linear footage is 993 feet. When you look at the footage that's being assessed, it is that total linear footage that they have adjacent to Victory Road. The extension of East Bluff through that project is private property right now, and when the project is done, that'll be converted back over to public right-of-way, and so we didn't want to be taking on a piece of public right-of-way that had an assessment on it. So that's in those parcels. There's another parcel all the way to the east side on Channel Road that'll be developed as commercial property in the future. And again, just the way we did the assessments, that total linear footage that we were looking at has been divided into the 2 parcels that we are assessing.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, I will close the hearing and look for a motion to adjourn as the Board of Equalization and reconvene as mayor and council.
I'll make the motion. Second that, Your Honor.
Motion and second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moves us to item number 21. I would look for a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 5701, levying special assessments in Water Extension District number 123.
Your Honor, I move approval of ordinance number 5701.
Motion and second. Any further discussion on this, council? Okay.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yeah, sure.
Just wanted to mention that these are set up as 20-year assessments. The assessment interest is 3%. If individuals pay it off within 50 days of this evening, there'd be a 1.2% reduction in the net principal for that assessment. Both of these are set up in the same fashion.
And it might also be worth mentioning that the interest rate that's included in these special assessment amounts assumes passage at tonight's meeting. So if you don't pass it tonight, those assessments will then go up. We'll be kind of chasing our tail.
Okay, thank you, Randy. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call, please. Oh, short title, I'm sorry.
An ordinance levying special assessments upon the lots, parts of lots, lands, and real estate abutting upon and adjacent to, and specially benefited by the improvements in Water Extension District number 123 of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, to defray the cost of said improvements, and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, now roll call, please.
Rehnquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Nope.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, File. Voting in opposition, Wiebelhaus and Clausen. Ordinance number 5701 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, consideration of the input that Randy presented forward, I would, due to the possibility of the interest rate changing, I would move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance number 5701 on second and third reading.
Second?
Motion and second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. Any discussion? If none, roll call, please.
Rehnquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen, File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, File. Voting in opposition, Wiebelhaus, Clausen. Ordinance 5701 carries on second and third.
Okay, it moves us to item number 23. I would look for a motion to consider approval ordinance number 5702, levying special assessments in sanitary sewer extension district number 252.
Your Honor, I'd offer for consideration ordinance 5702.
Motion and second. Any further discussion on this, council? Hearing none, short title, please.
An ordinance levying special assessments upon the lots, parts of lots, lands, and real estate abutting upon and adjacent to, and specially benefited by the improvements in sanitary sewer extension district number 252 of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, to defray the cost of said improvements and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, roll call, please.
Rehnquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Nope.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Rehnquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, File. Voting in opposition, Wiebelhaus and Clausen. Ordinance number 5702 carries on first reading.
As noted, Your Honor, I feel we need to pass ordinance number 5702 on second and third reading. So moved.
Motion second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. Any discussion? If none, roll call, please.
Rehnquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Wiebelhaus,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
No.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Rehnquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, and File. Voting in opposition, Wiebelhaus and Clausen. Ordinance number 5702 carries on second and third.
Okay, that moves us to item number 24, and I will open this public hearing for the Board of Equalization to hear and equalize special assessments for Water Extension District number 122 at Northeast Industrial Water Main, Highway 35. To do so, I would first look for a motion to adjourn as the mayor and council and convene as the Board of Equalization.
I'll make the motion.
Second that, Your Honor.
Motion and second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Rehnquist.
Yes.
Langy.
Yes.
Merrill.
Yes.
Wiebelhaus.
Yes.
Murin.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Clausen.
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so the public hearing is opened, and to kick off discussion, once again, Steve Ramus, City Engineer.
Mayor and council, before you is Water District 122. This extended city water up Highway 35, connecting in at Benjamin Avenue. It did bring in a couple residential parcels, but in large part, it was about delivering water to some potential development there on the east side of Highway 35, as well as connecting in up at Benjamin Avenue. There are 4 parcels or tracts of land included in this project. All 4 have been contacted. The total cost of the project was $570,670.71. The city cost was $327,567.77. The assessed portion then was $243,102.94. The city's portion would equate to 57% of the project, and the assessed portion would be 43% of the project. Due to the variation in size of the parcels, the assessment is based on 50% linear footage and 50% on area. The linear foot calculation for assessment was $71.31, and the area calculation is $2,239.34 an acre. Calculations are included in the agenda pack if you had any questions about that. And I'm not sure, I did have contact with all landowners. I do not see any of the landowners here this evening. Keith? Dwayne Keith? Elkhorn Valley, okay. So one of the properties is set up in a trust, and the trustee is here tonight for that property. One of the residents did generally object to the project in the beginning, and certainly objected to the assessment in the end.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Any questions for Steve?
Steve, where this line ran, how much, did we have any agricultural? I don't know what you call it, the
We
agriculture to
did-
get the exemption?
We did not.
Okay.
There,
In this, go ahead.
just for clarification, there's probably parcels out there that are ag, but they're not zoned ag. They're being used as ag, but they're not zoned ag.
This is a public hearing, so anyone wishing to come forward and make comment can do so now. Okay, hearing no one, I would look to close the hearing and would entertain a motion to adjourn as the Board of Equalization and reconvene as the mayor and council.
I'll make the motion.
Second that, Your Honor.
Motion and second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Rehnquist.
Yes.
Langy.
Yes.
Merrill.
Yes.
Wiebelhaus.
Yes.
Murin.
Yes.
Jackson. Clausen.
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moves us to item number 25. Would entertain a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 5703, levying special assessments in Water Extension District number 122.
Your Honor, I move consideration of ordinance number 5703.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion on this, council?
Mayor and board, I just mentioned that this again is a 20-year assessment. Interest on the assessment is 3%. If the assessment is paid off within 50 days of tonight's meeting, there is a 1.2% reduction in the principal. And again, we would ask that it be passed in all 3 readings.
Thanks, Steve. Any other comments or questions?
There's a couple residences listed here, when I can tell. Are they gonna be required to hook up, or are they already hooked up, or?
No, again, we are not compelling connection to the system until such time as either their water wells fail or their septic system fails.
And they won't be charged another assessment or something?
No,
to get hooked up?
no.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any further discussion? If none, short title, please.
An ordinance levying special assessments upon the lots, parts of lots, lands, and real estate abutting upon and adjacent to, and specially benefited by the improvements in Water Extension District Number 122 of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, to defray the cost of said improvements and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
No.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, File. Voting in opposition, Weeblehouse and Clausen. Ordinance number 5703 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, I'd move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance number 5703 on second and third reading.
Second?
Motion and second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. Any discussion? If none, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
No.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen, File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Murin, Jackson, and File. Voting in opposition, Weeblehouse and Clausen. Ordinance number 5703 carries on second and third.
Okay, moves us to item number 26, and as we did earlier in joining public hearings, I will do the same for items number 26 and 28, given that they address related matters. So at this time, we'll open the public hearings for the Board of Equalization to hear and equalize special assessments for the Sanitary Sewer Extension District number 251, Northeast Industrial Sanitary Sewer Extension Phase 2, and the public hearing for the Board of Equalization to hear and equalize special assessments for the Water Extension District number 121 of the Northeast Industrial Water Main Eisenhower project. To do so, we have to go in the Board of Equalization. I would look for a motion to adjourn as mayor and council and convene as Board of Equalization.
Second.
Second.
Motion and second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so the public hearings are open, and again, to kick off the discussion and give some background on these items, Steve Ramus, please.
Mayor and council, start here with item 26 on the agenda, Sewer District 251. This project extended sewer up along the railroad, in that area of Magnet Drive, all the way north up into New Core area. The project was created, the ordinance for the project was created on November 26th of 2018. Final payment on the project was made December 16th of 2019. Total parcels served by the project are 13. The total cost of the project is $2,128,552.83. The city oversized cost on the project, which was 38%, totaled $799,961.36. The remainder being assessed then to adjacent parcels is $1,328,591.47. The new core assessment is quite substantial, and so I did want to pull that out. It is 42% of the overall project. It is 68% of of that being assessed. Their assessment was $897,493.61. Other adjacent parcels were being assessed $431,097.86. Again, due to the inconsistent size of the parcels in relation to the linear footage, we did a 50-50 calculation, basing the assessment 50% on front footage and 50% on the area of the parcel. The linear foot calculation then for assessment was $64.60, and the area calculation was $1,942.33. All parties have been contacted on this project regarding their assessments. I know that we did receive a letter today from from the Elkhorn Valley Ethanol folks. And I believe, Joe, are you here?
Yes.
Joe is here to speak and represent Elkhorn Valley Ethanol. Again, while Joe is working his way up, you want to come up and sign in?
Yes.
While Joe's making his way up, I would point out again here that nobody is required to connect until such time as either their well fails or their septic system fails. In the instance of large industrial areas that rely a lot on water for production, we are not currently requiring that they would connect for the production portion of their water usage. We would only, should their well fail, they would most likely be able to restore that in the future. We would just ask that domestically they would tie to our water system.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Joe Gillespie. I'm the plant manager at Elkhorn Valley Ethanol. Unfortunately, and I did get to talk to Steve a little bit before the meeting, unfortunately, the decision makers for our company who could have approved this assessment really didn't get this information. Steve had been working with someone who is a law secretary, and the information was not passed on. So I just found out about that right before this meeting. I do not, at this time, since I just got the formulation of how this was being assessed, I have not had time to go through that and come up with a basis beyond what we have listed here. I think some of this now may be inaccurate based on what Steve was telling me. But I do definitely want to let the council know that there's not an officer of the company at LDC that had seen this information before 4:30 today. We have not been able to go through the assessment and make sure that it's equal for us on any level. And I'm just asking that the city council take no action to approve the proposed special assessments until after our objections are further discussed by the city staffs and adjustments to the assessment methodology made and maybe some additional public hearing. That's all I wanted to let the council know.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that insight. It makes me curious as to the background on this and how, because this whole process wasn't an overnight process. It's been ongoing for some time, going back, what would you say, Steve, a year ago?
It was November 26th of 18 we created it, so we would have had contact with Elkhorn Valley. I believe we started having contact January of that year.
I'm certain.
So it makes me wonder how that communication was not somehow translated to the people that needed to have it.
Certainly, I was aware of the easement when I replaced Alan Sievertson at the facility, and I was certainly made aware of the easement to allow the pipe to pass through our property, and we certainly allowed that with no issue, and our property was restored as promised. Our fence was put back up. What I don't understand is the disconnect about the assessment itself not coming to any officer of the company.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
think the
Steve,
only,
are we able to detail some contact from City Hall to a representative of the company?
the majority of the contact would have been, as we set it up, the contact with Louis Dreyfus or with Elkhorn Valley, like you said, was through a part of their legal team out on the East Coast. As we were making contact with the different businesses out in that area, they actually contacted us. And so when they contacted us and we had shared that information, sent them links to the information, honestly, we thought we'd covered that base. Didn't realize that there was potentially some disconnect there between their East Coast office and their local office. I do have, just for the information that was shared with them back through the period of summer of 2018 as we were preparing these and getting ready for the creation ordinance. The number shared with them, it turns out was very close. For the water assessment, we had shared an estimated assessment cost of $95,474.30 and $91,625.47 on the sewer. The final numbers on water for them are $94,020.58. So just about $1,400 less than what we originally estimated. On the sewer side.
Steve, let me stop you there. When was that cost, that approximate $95,000 cost? When was that first shared with the company?
That would have been through probably the first quarter of 2018 that would have been shared with the company.
Okay. Ended up being 94,000.
Yes, ended up at $94,020.58.
Okay.
I know one of the comments in the emails just recently today that were shared as we were having this conversation later this afternoon was a little bit about their water usage there at the plant and not really seeing that they had enough water there to really merit a connection or merit a fee. There are many parcels out here. Of these parcels, I'd say estimate probably half of these parcels don't have any development on them at all. It's not about how much water are you using now. It's when we put that cost out, we're looking at their front footage, we're looking at the area. We back out all of those oversized costs. So we're really giving them a cost that represents what it would cost to develop water to that site for development purposes. I was going to see here again, the linear foot assessment came in at $64.60 after we took out all the city oversized costs and everything. So it's right in line with what we would see for development costs in an industrial setting like this.
And Steve, there are how many other industrial entities within this assessment district?
On the water, I'll count out loud here, but there are eight parcels out there in the water district. Of those that are industrial in nature, Nimco, Nucor, Doug Stevens. It turns out the parcel that's being assessed for water on Stevens Tract doesn't have anything on it. So it's really Nimco, Nucor, Elkhorn Ethanol Valley, Northeast Community College would be those that have some sort of activity on them.
Okay.
Randy, does that interest effect, if it doesn't get passed tonight, does the interest effect is the same as what you mentioned before? If it doesn't pass tonight?
If this isn't passed tonight, then we will have to add interest for however many days is between 2 or 3 weeks worth of interest until the next council meeting when they would be assessed. I'm not talking big numbers.
Yeah.
We guess $100 or $200 on the different assessment we're talking about now.
Okay, we are in the midst of public hearings for assessments of both sanitary sewer extension district number 251 and water extension district number 121. So if anyone has desire to make comment during the public hearings, they can do so now.
So you did open up 122 then for?
Yes.
For the sewer? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll read through that project here. The numbers I just read were for sewer district 251. These numbers here are for water district 122. And so let me back up here a little bit. On the question about businesses impacted, I had read you the water ones. On the sewer project, to go back to which one we just did, Nimco, Nucor, Stevens with the Apache site, Elkhorn Ethanol Valley, those four are the four active industries out there right now that are being assessed for the sewer project. On the water project, Water District Extension District 122, that district was created on April 1st of 2019. Final payment on that project was January 6th of 2020. Again, there are 15 parcels served here versus the 13 on the sewer. Total cost of the project was $2,351,053.72. Of that, there was a portion of, as a function of our easement negotiations and stuff there, we did include in the project a portion of private line for Nucor. At one point, we had it in there as public line. It made more sense at the end of the project to convert that to a private line. So there was $118,504.40 for that line, which brought the total cost of the project down to $2,232,549.32. The city oversize cost was $891,580.92, or 40% of the assessed portion of the project. The Nucor assessment was $424,011.11, or 19% of the assessed portion. Other properties were $916,957.29, or 41%. Again, due to the size of the areas in some cases and the footages, we did do a 50-50 linear foot versus area assessment. The linear foot price being assessed for water is $47.19. The area assessment is $1,234.33 per acre. Again, like all the others, we are not compelling connection to the water until such time as their wells would fail.
Okay, thank you, Steve, for that background on Water Extension District number 121. Any questions or comments from the council on that?
How many ag exemptions were out there?
On the water, there are 2 ag exemptions.
And so, when they get that exemption, what if they develop the property, then we come back and assess, right?
It comes out of ag, yes. As soon as it's no longer being used as ag, or zoned ag, then it comes out.
Is there any residential properties out there? They're being assessed.
On these, no. On the water district, on the water district now, I got the right district. It's Nimco, Nucor, Doug Stevens, Elkhorn Valley Ethanol, the V150 LLC site, which is that old pipe plant site there, the Northeast Community College, the McIntosh property, and the Wilkin property.
All right.
Thank you, Steve. Again, we are in the midst of public hearings for both items. Assessments on sanitary sewer extension district number 251 and assessments for water extension district number 121. If anyone would like to make comment on either of these matters, they can do so now.
Your Honor, could I ask a follow-up question?
Sure, we'll have you come forward though, please.
just from my knowledge, so I can make sure that I share accurate information. The current water system, the sites that you listed, how many of them would be currently hooking up to this water?
Nucor is hooked up. I believe Nimco is hooked up. Those are the two that I'm aware of.
Okay. You were referencing the college. Is this line replacing something that's already in place for the college, or are they just having to pay the assessment?
They're just having to pay the assessment.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, so for them, they have a parcel there that would be directly east of like Magnet Drive, from Magnet Drive north to the section line.
Okay, anyone else wishing to make comment? Okay. Hearing no one, I will move to close the hearing and look for a motion to adjourn as the Board of Equalization and reconvene as the Mayor and Council.
I make a motion for adjourn.
Motion second. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Liebelhaus,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Nope.
File,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, that takes us to item number 27, and I would look for a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 5704, levying special assessments in sanitary sewer extension district number 251 of the Northeast Industrial Sanitary Sewer Phase 2.
Your Honor, I move consideration of ordinance number 5704.
Second.
You know, we'll be abstaining from this one.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion, any further discussion, comments, or questions on this, council? I think, Steve, just for the sake of conversation on this, since these are big ticket items tonight, there's been a lot of focus on the agenda on these assessment districts in general. They're big investments, right, for purposes of infrastructure expansion that better serves residents, business owners, industry. The financing of these expansions happens in different ways. Traditionally, in most cities in our region, use the packaging, if you will, of assessments along with city cost share to do this. So just for background's sake, you've, I think, done a good job of laying out how much of the project the city picks up versus the assessments and where they fall. But we do that. The financing partly falls on those who, over the near and long term, benefit directly from those expansions, but also that's a growing pain. It's a cost. But to alleviate some of that cost, we do work as a city to pick up as much of that cost as is reasonably funded through utility funds, correct? Is there anything else you want to add to that, given obviously this is an item of interest tonight, and I wanted to just add that color and background to describe why we're doing this and why we're doing it this way, in terms of a combination of assessments and city shared costs.
I mean, that's correct. You know, ultimately, we'd like to build out the city in sequence where your water extensions and sewer extensions are occurring right at the edge of the city as the city grows. And when that happens, you're doing what I call green construction. You're extending those utilities through undeveloped ground for purposes of development. And in those scenarios, that cost is at a certain point. By absorbing the oversized cost, by absorbing other costs associated with the construction, be that going underneath roads or underneath railroad tracks, we absorb that cost and bring that, as best we can, bring that cost for that extension back down to something that mirrors green construction. So that we can grow, beyond just the limits of the community and reach out there a little bit.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. Any other questions or comments before we move on to consideration, council? Okay. Hearing none, short title, please.
An ordinance levying special assessments upon the lots, parts of lots, lands, and real estate abutting upon and adjacent to, and specially benefited by the improvements in sanitary sewer extension district number 251 of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, to defray the cost of said improvements and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Liebelhouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen.
Nope.
Voting in the affirmative, Grandquist, Langy, Merrill, Liebelhouse, Murin, Jackson. Voting in opposition, Clausen. Abstaining from the vote, File. Ordinance number 5704 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, I would move that we suspend the rules and pass this ordinance on second and third reading.
Second?
Motion second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. Any discussion? None, roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Liebelhouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen.
No.
Voting in the affirmative, Grandquist, Langy, Merrill, Liebelhouse, Murin, Jackson. Voting in opposition, Clausen. And abstaining from the vote, File. Ordinance number 5704 carries on second and third.
Takes us to item number 29. I would look for a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 5705, levying special assessments in Water Extension District number 121, the Northeast Industrial Water Main, Eisenhower.
I'd offer for consideration ordinance number 5705.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this, council?
And I will be abstaining from this one as well.
Okay. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, short title, please.
An ordinance levying special assessments upon the lots, parts of lots, lands, and real estate abutting upon and adjacent to, and specially benefited by the improvements in Water Extension District number 121 of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, to defray the cost of said improvements and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Liebelhouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen.
No.
Voting in the affirmative, Grandquist, Langy, Merrill, Liebelhouse, Murin, Jackson. Voting in opposition, Clausen. Abstaining from the vote, File. Ordinance number 5705 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, I would move that we suspend the rules and pass this ordinance on second and third reading.
Second?
Motion second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. Any discussion? If none, roll call, please.
Grandquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Liebelhouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen.
No.
Voting in the affirmative, Grandquist, Langy, Merrill, Liebelhouse, Murin, Jackson. Voting in opposition, Clausen. Abstaining from the vote, filed. Ordinance number 5705 carries on second and third.
All right. We now enter the regular agenda portion of the city council agenda. Item number 30 would look for a motion to consider ordinance number 5695, amending section 2-5 of the city code to update building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permit and registration fees, to update fees for appeal of a decision of a code official, to update municipal solid waste rates and transfer station operating fees, to update water, sewer, and wastewater treatment rates and fees, and to remove duplicate listings of police towing and storage fees. As a note, ordinance number 5695 passed on first reading only at the September 21st council meeting, was tabled at the October 5th council meeting, and passed on second reading only at the November 2nd, 2020 city council meeting. So I would look for a motion to hear this ordinance on third reading.
Your Honor, I move that we consider ordinance number 5695 on third reading.
Motion and second, and since third reading does not allow for discussion, we will move to short title, please.
An ordinance of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska to amend Section 2-5 of the official city code to update building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permit and registration fees, to update fees for appeal of a decision of a code official, to update municipal solid waste rates and transfer station operating fee, to update water, sewer, and wastewater treatment rates and fees, to remove duplicate listing of police towing and storage fees, to provide when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Franquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
No.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Weeblehouse, Murin, Jackson, File. Voting in opposition, Clausen. Ordinance number 5695 carries on third reading.
Okay, moves us to item 31. I would look for a motion to consider ordinance number 5700, creating Water Extension District number 124, which generally provides for the extension of a water main south along US Highway 81 to Sherwood Road. As a note, ordinance number 5700 passed on first reading only at the November 2nd, 2020 City Council meeting.
Your Honor, I'd move for consideration of ordinance number 5700.
Second.
Motion and second, and to kick off discussion, Steve, can
Your
you?
Honor, I will be abstaining from this item, please.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Steve Ramus, can you refresh our memories on this, please?
Mayor and council, this is the water extension that will pick up the water main on the south side of the river there by the UPS facility, extend it down to Sherwood, provide water service to those properties adjacent to that. It will also extend the water east on Bonita Drive to various parcels to the east there. It will, when it gets to Sherwood, it will extend to the west and connect over to the airport to provide water service, municipal water service into the airport. It also crosses Highway 81 at North Airport Road and then immediately turns north along the frontage road there and provides water service to the parcels along the west side of 81, north of Airport Road. We would expect the project, if passed, to be complete in 2021. The project was, following the extension to the south side, we were contacted by a few businesses over there, I would say less than a half a dozen, that were very desirous of water extending to them for various water quality reasons. Based on that, we did pursue putting together this water district. We visited with all the landowners down in that area. I would say, we have about 50% solid buy-in, 25% that if it goes, it goes, and there's probably there's about 25% there that are opposed to the project. The current calculated assessment to the property owners is in that mid 50 range, upper 50, or I'm sorry, mid 80 range. 85 to 87 is where our calculation is. Certainly at this time, we have to estimate for what the bids could be. We've got contingencies in there. What we've seen in the past is we've had extremely good bids coming in from our local contractors, and usually they seem to be beating our estimates by about 20% by the time the project's done. So.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Another investment in expanded infrastructure to serve existing users and accommodate new growth. Any questions for Steve or any comments?
I guess the one comment I'd have, Your Honor, because at one point in time, we had looked at this as a potential for being a supplement to a rural water district, but that's not what this is. Because that was not going to provide potential water service needed for a fire protection system. This is a full-blown system. It's not, so.
Total estimated cost of the project is about 1.2 million. I don't have those exact numbers in front of me. It was just under 1.2 million. The city portion of the cost, by the time you take our oversized cost and the assessment to the airport, we're taking 50% of the cost of the project. The other 50% would be assessed then to local adjacent properties.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, short title, please.
An ordinance creating Water Extension District Number 124 in the city of Norfolk, Nebraska, establishing the outer boundaries of the district, designating the size, location, and terminal points, referring to the plans, specification, and engineer's estimate in connection therewith, and provide when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and to provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Weeblehouse, Jackson, Clausen, File. Abstaining from the vote, Murin. Ordinance number 5700 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, I propose we suspend the rules and pass ordinance number 5706 on second and third.
Second that, Your Honor.
Okay, just for clarification's sake, passing on third reading. Okay. Is there
I
a
will
second?
second that.
Okay. Motion and second to suspend the rules and approve on third reading. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
Voting in the affirmative, Granquist, Langy, Merrill, Weeblehouse, Jackson, Clausen, File. Abstaining from the vote, Murin. Ordinance number 5700 carries on third reading.
Item number 32, would look for motion to consider ordinance number 5706, amending city code sections 24-164, 24-165, and 24-165.2 to update parking restriction descriptions after the reconstruction of Brosh Avenue from First Street to Fifth Street.
Your Honor, I move for consideration of ordinance number 5706.
Second.
Motion and second, and for some background on this, Chief Don Miller, the Norfolk Police Division. Evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This ordinance does not change any of the parking restrictions that are currently in place. However, due to the reconstruction of Brosh Avenue, we had to change some descriptions of the parking areas to make it match the roadway that's there. There's fewer parking stalls, and those that are there are redesigned. So this ordinance just matches the descriptions with the ordinance to go with the current parking restrictions that were there before.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions? Question maybe for Steve. We're getting close to opening Brosh, correct?
Open
Any
today.
open today fully? Good,
Open
excellent.
when they can.
All right, any questions, comments? Any further discussion? If not, short title, please.
An ordinance of the city of Norfolk, Nebraska to amend sections 24-164, 24-165, and 24-165.2 of the official city code to update parking restrictions on Brosh Avenue between First Street and Fifth Street to coincide with the reconstruction of Brosh Avenue, to provide when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and provide for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
All council members present voting in the affirmative. Ordinance number 5706 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, considering this is more of a housekeeping, I'd move to suspend the rules and pass 5706 in second and third.
Second.
Motion and second to suspend the rules and approve on second and third readings. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Granquist,
Yes.
Langy,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Weeblehouse,
Yes.
Murin,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
File.
Yes.
All council members present voting in the affirmative. Ordinance number 5706 carries on second and third.
And that concludes this meeting of the Norfolk City Council. We are adjourned.